Hey guys, with everything that's been going on lately with the two mass shootings, the one in Dayton and the one in El Paso, there's been a lot of talk going around lately, and I wanted to cover a couple things. Yes, the events were tragic. I understand that, and I'm not trying to downplay it. But at the same time, passing these red flag laws, as they're called, are very, very dangerous. They will greatly be abused, as they have been already in states that have passed them. And what a lot of people don't seem to understand is how easy these can be enacted. All it simply has to take is for a neighbor or somebody to see you with a firearm. Maybe you bought a new one and you're bringing it home, or loading your car up to go to the gun range. They get upset because they either don't like guns or whatever the case may be. You got some grass clippings onto their sidewalk and they're upset. It can be anything. They call it in as you being a threat. There's a court case, an entire hearing, and all of that, but you are not present. You get no chance to put your side of the story out there. Nothing. And what's aggravating me more than anything is a lot of Trump supporters, which I voted for Trump myself and was a huge supporter. But I'm not going to give him or anybody else a free pass just because they're a Republican. If Obama or a Democrat would have said these exact words that Trump said on TV just the other day, they'd be up in arms. But they want to give him a pass because he's a Republican. That's not the way it should be. Hold their feet to the fire regardless. Now, I was on Facebook just browsing around, and I saw a friend had made a post. I'm not sure where he exactly got it, but I want to read it, and I'll post it down in the comments as a pinned comment if you want to copy it, but it makes a lot of sense. And it says, "Follow me along with this story timeline in a new America. It's a Sunday night, and your family's all going to bed. You let the dog back in, lock the deadbolt like you do every night. All the lights are off now except a couple of night lights scattered throughout the house, leaving that dim glow throughout your home. It's bedtime, and work and school are going to come early in the morning. You crawl in bed, kiss your wife, and drift off to sleep, being thankful for the air conditioning that allows you to pull that heavy quilt up over your shoulders, despite the fact it's still 85 degrees outside. A few hours pass. 2 a.m. Monday morning, and your wife taps you on the leg. 'Baby, I heard something outside.' As you sit up in bed, you hear your dog growling in the living room, and you know something isn't right. You grab your trusty old 870 and head into the living room. Your wife grabs her 380 and heads down the hall to the kids' room, just like you rehearsed. 'Good girl,' you say as you enter the living room, trying to calm both the dog and your wife, just as splinters fly across in a heap before the excuse me. Just as splinters fly across the room and the front door flies open. Oh crap, as you shoulder your weapon and send a load of double-aught buck across the living room, and you see the perpetrator fall in a heap. Before the thank God can even run across your brain, you see a second man coming in the door, and you fire again. This time you hear the pop of your wife's 380 as she has joined in the fight. It has to be those meth heads from down the street. Just then you are consumed by a wall of bullets as you see multiple muzzle flashes from just outside the door, and you realize something isn't right. You turn to yell at your wife to get down, just in time to see her take a load of buckshot to the face, and her brain matter splattered the wall behind her. You feel the burning as 5.56 bullets riddle your body. One clips your spine as you scramble away, and paralysis your lower body. The last thing you see before you bleed out is a SWAT guy from the local PD holding your teenage daughter on the floor with a knee in her back as she screams and cries because she just watched her parents being murdered. Why did this happen? You're no criminal. You're a veteran and an honest blue-collar family man. Your wife is a school teacher. Your daughter is on the honor roll. Why did this happen? Well, 2 days ago, You and your wife went to welcome the new neighbors in the community. Your wife made one of her world famous pies, and you invited them to church on Sunday. Later that afternoon, you got a friend request on Facebook from your new neighbor, which you gladly accepted. They seemed a little odd, but in a few minutes you talked, they were pleasant enough. The next day, while you and your family sat in church, your new neighbor scrolled through your Facebook profile. He saw that Trump 2020 post and got infuriated. See, he's a staunch liberal, and he hates your kind. The next thing he sees are hunting pictures you took last fall when your daughter bagged her first buck. Now he's seething with fury because he is wholeheartedly against the slaughter of innocent animals. Next, he sees your post from the last range day with your buddy and sees those scary black assault weapons on the table. And that does it. He has to do something about this racist domestic terrorist living next door. He picks up the phone, calls your local sheriff's office, and reports you as a threat under the new red flag laws. The sheriff's office follows their standard operating procedures and conducts a no-knock warrant because you've now been denied due process and are considered guilty until proven innocent. Now you and your lovely wife and 2 deputies have been killed for nothing. Your daughter will have absolute hell for the rest of her life. She will never be the successful person you dreamed for her to be because of the mental illness caused from seeing her parents murdered. The local newspaper will report that you were killed after firing on and killing 2 deputies, and that over 1,000 rounds of ammo and 22 guns were confiscated from your residence. Oh, those 2 deputies were just following orders. They left behind families as well, and they served their community for over a decade. They didn't know you were a stand-up guy with a great family. They weren't allowed to investigate things under due process. They were told you had threatened your neighbor and were out in the street waving an AR-15 around. This is the reality of red flag laws. Innocent people will lose their lives, and in fact, already have. Wake up, America. That sums it up. That is not far-fetched in the least. Trump supports this. The NRA supports this. And it is extremely dangerous. We've got plenty of laws on the books as it is that are never followed. They just want to get around this due process. You know, that Constitution that's always holding them back. We can't let it happen. I don't care if it's Democrat, Republican, or whatever label they want to put on themselves. It doesn't matter. We cannot allow this stuff to happen. You do not compromise when it comes to your rights. There's no law that can be passed to make anybody be an honest person. Evil will happen regardless. Many countries around the world have virtually banned firearms, but still have a very high murder and violent crime rate, whether it be knives, vehicles, chemical like acid attacks, arson. There's nothing you can do to eliminate evil. All they are doing is eliminating the honest, upstanding citizens a chance at survival. Does the good guy with a gun always win out? Obviously not. But he at least deserves a fair chance. We don't need to be sitting ducks because of somebody's feelings and emotions. When it comes to my rights, your feelings do not matter. And that's where I'm going to end this video. I would appreciate it if you would share it around, and I will post this story, like I said, as a pinned comment so you can copy and paste it to wherever you see fit. Thanks.